So, you want to know how to drift better in the Crew 2, at least for the sake of the summit. Now, everybody and their cat has basically been trying to get this Evo 10. For those that don't know, it's available from the summit. I am so excited to be back playing the Crew 2 again constantly. I've been playing it all day today. The day of making this video, that is. So, here we are with the Rising Sun. As you can see, the Evo Fury Edition is the one that you want to get. I am doing pretty well, though the Platinum level is creeping up and up and up constantly. And I want to start doing some videos on how you can best use the tools you have to build your car up. Today is about drift. Drift is something I've not massively done much of in the Crew 2 because I mostly put my time into race and hypercars because that's what I use the most in the free roam. But it's now time to do drift events, which means I've got to get my drift on. Let's get it going. 20,000 is the objective, but you can downright ignore that straight away. You've got to get a heck of a lot more points. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to do. Although the Crew 2's drifting is very much arcade, there is a knack to it. It ain't no break to drifting. It ain't easy peasy, no matter what car you're in. Each car handles a little bit differently. Get it done. Make use of those final seconds, and boom! 548,000. How much better is that than my last time that I tried to do this? I've been saving this up. I've done better, but I can do better again. Another 35,000 points on top, and that is a lot. How did I do this? First off, I stopped playing. Bought some limited edition stick. Oh, stalling. I reached the best score I possibly could on that drift event. I reckon I can get into the 160s with the current setup that I have now. Once you hit that limit, once you have tried over and over again, once you've got to that point where you can, every single time you've done the event, avoid hitting a wall, or at least most times, you're basically going to hit the same score every single time. So that's where you want to go off the summit, back off completely, not even bother going on through that menu system. Now, as you can see, just because we finished that event, we spawn in this exact area, which is perfect. Because if you want to know, all the drift events are basically the same length. You have 2 minutes to do the course, and so what better course to do than the current summit event? Now, by the time you watch this video, it may be a different event. That is where you should then change. But for this summit, we're using this event, which is Airport Terminal D. So if you go to that, you can see I've completed it each time over. Now, if I go to change difficulty, you can see I'm still not the max level. I can do this very, very easily. When you do the event on the summit, yes, you get rewards, but you only get rewards that would be given to you on the easy difficulties, which means the parts are generally green for the most part. That's where you have to jump out of the event and you select hard when you have it available, because surely you've done it on the summit already because you've been trying. Once you've done hard, attempt ace. If you can't do it, find friends in the comments down below. Leave your PSNs, your Xbox Live names. Those people could probably carry you to do those events. An easier way, search for the Knobheads Racing Game Community. You can just search the Knobheads. In here, you will see events and the like. Now, playing is a good place to start. You can see that people are playing, grinding, trying to level up on the Crew 2, and you can join their session very, very easily. So we move on to the next part of this. As you can see, I have a very mixed bag of parts. For example, I have 207 on this when I have 212. So why would I be doing that? For example, on here, I have 200. I have a 208 part. When it comes to drift, don't fall into the trap of putting the best parts, because that is not the best idea, my friends. Each of my parts here, at least most of them for the most part, have the same style perks equipped to them. This one I have yet to do, and I saved it just for you. So if we go onto here, you can see now a new feature, for those that don't know, was added, and you can recalibrate those parts. So this, for example, increases or refills my nitro while drifting. Not really that useful for when drifting, because I don't necessarily use NOS very much, except to catch up speed. Slippery is where you want it. This increases the multiplier. That's right. If you paid close attention to my drifting, you see the multiplier went up to almost like 200. At least it will do by the time I'm done with this. 13 times multiplier. The more you recalibrate, the more costly it becomes. So if you recalibrate the pure, for example, it's going to give us these 2 perks, but eventually it will give us the 2 perks that are best for drifting. Hothead. Increase the speed multiplier by whatever in drift events. The faster you drive, the higher you score. So you want slippery and hothead as much as you can. As you can see, 8% is the limit there, so I've only got 8%. This one has room to improve. I can get another 0.8% on that. And basically, you want to fill that out on all of your parts, which is why, my friends, I have some better parts, but I haven't actually technically put them on yet. So 207, 212, but there's no perk advantage. Don't get me wrong, you want to improve as much as you can, as where you possibly can, but perks prioritize level. If you get about 30 levels above, then yeah, you're going to need to start upgrading those parts instead. But now we have a big ass multiplier, which is actually bigger than when I did it the last time. Next up would be icon points, and as you can clearly see, I've got all my parts on lucky, which means I get better parts every time I do events anyway. Got pure, increases nitro power, refill, and I also used this one, for example, to increase power. Now, in here have all the perk points I could possibly need. The two you want, again, slippery, hothead. Those will give you more points for drifting fast and more points in a multiplier, which is why we said do not lose your drift. If you lose your drift, quit, restart, retry. It's frustrating, but I promise you that is exactly, you need to do it in one go, which is why I said you want to be practicing on the current summit event. So this is my current summit event that I'm doing. So I'm going to keep doing it on this track. Again, if the summit has changed since, which I'm sure it will have, so by the time a lot of you have seen this video, I would highly recommend doing the event that is the summit event, but not the summit event, so you can increase the difficulty. But next up would be a little tip on how you can keep a chain going. Now, I would highly recommend that you switch to manual transmission. For those that don't know how to do that, you go into the options category, you go to controls, and you go to sequential, which is essentially manual. This will help you keep a slide or improve the speed of a slide. Depending on your level, different gears will be your preference. And then as you learn the car, different gears will be your preference. Right now, I'm sticking mostly between third and fourth. And that's pretty much all you're going to be doing for the most part. Fifth sometimes, as you can see there, for the long sweeping drifts. As you level up your car, you'll be needing to level up the amount of gears you're using. As I said, there's a few tricks. When you are heading towards a wall a bit quick, brake. Get down a gear, like I did there, for example. Fix your mistake before you hit the wall. Don't leave it too late. If you get way too close to a wall, you need to brake. Surprisingly, sometimes you'll be able to avoid hitting the wall completely, like there, by braking. Sometimes you'll get this weird motion like that that'll stop you hitting the wall. If you find yourself slowing down, what you need to do is use a bit of boost. Too much and you'll hit the wall. But try and learn your car as you go. You will not be boosting a massive amount. As I said, you use it mostly to fix. It won't really improve your speed all that much because you are not going forward, you're going sideways. Don't bother wasting your time. To drift, basically turn and accelerate. Don't really use the brake to initiate, use the brake to assist. One other quick little hint is if you have yellow parts, or depending on the level of the parts, for example, on here I have some blues. The blues technically are a higher level, yes, but you will find an issue in that the purple parts allow you to have a higher range of the level to the percentages. So for example, 10% on the slippery here, and on here we have slippery 5% because it's a blue part. Yellow parts will allow the most. So if you have, for example, a yellow part, even though again they are higher level, this allows me to have 8% on the yellow part, and this allows me to have 3%, which is a bit less. Is this suicide? Telling people how I am getting ahead of the leaderboard? Yes, I'm basically probably... If I don't get the Evo, it's because I made this video. The same rule basically applies for every single summit event that you do. If you don't have maxed out parts, you might want to give it a go. So I'm now going to focus, and let's see if I can beat my other score. Oh, 630! The world record for your information is like 750. Me, not maxed out, is closing in another what 3,000 points on that. It slows down a little bit towards the top, but 150k points on a drift challenge, not too shabby. Should bump me up pretty highly. 841st on the leaderboard. I am in no means the best at this by any stretch, but I hope my tip today helped you and will help you get pretty close. At the same rate, half of me is like, I really hope it doesn't because I want the Evo 10 and I want it more than you. Or do I? Be sure to smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this, because I would love to know if you want to see more tips on, say, for example, drag, street, everything like that. Now's the perfect time for me to do those. So anyway, I will see you in the next video. Merch link down below. Peace.